the go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna ask because there was I just recall this. Somebody tweeted about a conference a few weeks ago. I think in the Bahamas or something. I don't know if that's even true, but like that you were.
I
talking
heard
with
in the
some
conference in
people.
LA about people talking about an attempt to break the USD peg.
So
But
talk us through about this, and also you just said it requires a lot of economic power to do this, and I don't know, it seemed to have been coordinated or whatever. So maybe you can just share your thoughts on the whole matter,
I
and
mean,
especially for
it
those
doesn't
people
need
that
to be
don't.
coordinated. It's just someone needs a lot of money, right? You know, because there was easily $3 billion or more that was willing to buy UST at pretty much any price to push to defend the peg. And so in order to break the peg, you needed more money than that. And the you know the thing to understand, the best way to thinking about Luna, right, is Luna was a system that if like conviction was ever lost in the system, like the entire system crumbled, right? It was entirely driven. There is no backstop. There is no graceful exit. There is only total system failure. In the event of loss of conviction in the system. So it's not like Maker. It's not like Maker. It's not like other sort of CDP model stablecoins. It is entirely driven by conviction. But there was $3 billion like committed to protecting conviction in the system. And in order to break conviction in the system, you had to be able to put more money at risk than there was to protect the system. And you know, that's really what's unique and novel about this whole situation is really, you know, we have hypothesized for the last 10 years in the industry about like large amounts of dollars being put at risk to break cryptocurrency systems. But this has never happened before, where like, you know, something on the neighborhood of $3 to $5 billion was put at risk, which, and like that money could have been lost, right? If the defense had succeeded, which you could have. Now part of the problem is like the attacker knew how much money the defender had, because this is how the LFG operated, right? It was like, these are our committed funds, and the attacker could then say, if I can raise more money than that to attack the system, I can win. And so that was the mechanism to manage that.
Can you explain to the audience what the vulnerability in that system was? I mean, the loss in confidence didn't just come out of nowhere, right? There was some vulnerability that was attacked and exploited, so that the peg was lost. And I think over the past months, we've also talked about this, and also I had Sunny on my show. He also said that what Luna is doing is very interesting with the mint and burn model, but it's also very experimental, and we don't know how sustainable it is, where it goes in the long term. So can you explain a little bit what the vulnerability was that eventually got exploited?
So it
was kind of like a small chink in the armor.
I don't know that it was a small chink in the armor, right?
When they were moving between pool 3 and pool 4, they like opened up.
Yes, so there was a lot of stuff that happened. There is the like details of the attack, right? Where there was a moment where UST liquidity on Curve was decreasing because they were setting up this new pool 4, which if pool 4 had been successfully set up, would have actually made this attack much more difficult and much more expensive. And so, you know, the attacker chose the moment of maximum vulnerability to do this attack. The attack was, but like, why did Luna fail so catastrophically once it was below the peg, right? Because if Luna is below the peg, you print. So the Luna's mint mechanism is anyone who has UST can unilaterally mint new Luna against that UST, right? And so the mechanism is designed so that once the UST is minted, or like once UST is below the peg, you are minting Luna as if it was as if the UST was $1, but like the UST was cheaper. So for every dollar of UST you buy, you are minting more than $1 of Luna, and this is the part of the system that where the system just kind of consumes itself, is as the peg is the attacker and like everyone else who's trying to get out is sitting there watching the peg go down. They're buying UST below $1 and minting more than $1, or minting more than $1's worth of Luna. So you're just constantly flooding the system with Luna that you then sell, which then like recurses back into the system, and the whole system implodes.
And at the same time, I think we're seeing now since the peg broke, especially since I think yesterday morning, massive short positions on Luna, which further fuels this death spiral downwards. And Luna is just in an absolute free fall right now. Yeah.